is I'm gonna use my spatula because I want all those seasonings to be coated in the delicata. So I don't want to cut it like this. I want to cut it against the grain. So I'm going like this. And what that does is it'll make it more tender. I take these juices, put it back on the stove. This is the secret that I was talking about. All right, we're gonna get a basket. We're gonna make this a little simple. Usually I don't ever get a basket. We wanna get some seasonality here. Pears are in season. These, you can tell, are super ripe because look at how this stem is bending and they're already ripening, and as I feel it, this pear is ripe. So $2.47 for this, we're gonna incorporate that. So we're gonna grab a couple of those. So little baby potatoes, $3.47. I mean, that's a really good deal. We're just gonna get that. That might make a really good deal. Look at the size of these, look at these berries that H-E-B has. Those are huge. It's a good deal, we'll get that. We'll get some raspberries, $1.87. Let's see. So like, I love arugula. I love how spicy it is, so we'll get some of that. That might be good for a little salad. French green beans, these are already, they're already picked. Takes a long time to pick them. These are known as haricots verts, French green beans, unbelievable. They cook really fast and you want to cook them al dente, so we're gonna grab those. I do love delicata squash. I'm gonna show you a really quick way that we can cook that. So we'll get one of those. I love the chili selection that H-E-B has. I mean, look at all, they have the shishito peppers, big bags of habanero peppers. They even have a mixed habanero, Anaheim peppers. They've got the big bags of serrano, jalapeno. I do want to give it a little bit of spice, but I don't know if I want to use, I'm going to try a red jalapeno actually. Let's get a red jalapeno. A couple of those. I want to get some Italian parsley. So we get a bunch of Italian parsley. We do need to just take a peek at the tortillas because those are just something that's a staple for H-E-B, and it's almost like sacrilegious if you don't go see the tortillas. And I'm gonna be buying a ton of them for the Halloween thing, so I'm gonna find out. They have a southwestern one made with corn and flour. Southwest, they have a wheat one. Someone told me they had like a gluten-free version of it too, but oh my gosh, they smell just incredible. So we're just gonna buy a bag. It's almost like you have to buy these when you come in. So we're definitely gonna get this. These coupons at H-E-B are awesome, like $1 off, so you always wanna grab those. I'm almost wondering if that's for that. So this is what's cool about H-E-B is it makes me want to buy the deal. So I'm gonna buy the wheat version of this. Now let's go look at meat. Okay, so.
Any garlic?
Yeah, it's already marinated. We don't have much time, so we'll see that. But let's just see what else they have. So I'm gonna have to buy a ton of these because I got those brisket quesadillas coming. I'm trying to figure out where the best deal is. So they got briskets galore. I'm gonna need 4 of them, so I might be getting some of these. But let's go check on this side to see what the steaks are like. When I look for tri-tip, I look for good marbling. And so like, look at this, that has some really interesting marbling, but I don't like that big fat cap there. This got a little bit more marbling in it, which is good.
Yeah. So
we'll roast that off. And then let's see if there's any cheeses that are really good that we want to get. I mean, look, H-E-B just does, look at how much Parmesan they have here. Amazing. There's these really fun little pastes that I think add a lot of flavor. So like, this is interesting. So my buddy actually owns a hibiscus tea farm from Africa, and it's Kurt Hopkins, he's got hibiscus flowers coming. I've never cooked with like an hibiscus marmalade, so whenever I go to a grocery store, I look for like unique things like this that we could incorporate in. So I think this with that parfait would be really cool. And then we need yogurt, so we gotta go all the way down here. We're gonna grab this Ecos 000, so there's no sugar added in this, and then we're gonna make that. We got the chicken and the steak, the yogurt, our cheap pears. Where's our, oh, there it is.
Bag.
Thank you. Yes, we did our HEB trip, and now we're headed home, and we only have like an hour to cook all this food. Can we do it? I think we can do it. And I think we'll be able to make enough food for like 8 people from it. We went to HEB, and we just thought we'd do something fun. Number one, I have a great new partnership. I'm so excited with Dr. Lauren Powell, and she is known as the culinary doctor, and she has a seasoning blend that is incredible. I tried it on some potatoes. I'm really impressed with it. What's really cool about it is it's sugar-free, and it's called the Everything Seasoning. And what's exciting about Dr. Lauren Powell is that she's actually a chef. So as a medical doctor, she realized that her patients and the people that she was serving weren't experiencing the growth and the changes that she really wanted. And so she noticed that when they were prescribed certain recipes or different ingredients, that's when her care exacerbated and started to heal her patients in combination with medical medicine and medical care and food is medicine, the wonderful foods that we have. So I thought, you know what, let's actually try her everything seasoning that has no sugar, and it's got, I'll just say, it's got garlic powder, onion powder, pink Himalayan salt, it has crushed red pepper, dried thyme, dried rosemary, ground pepper, dried dill weed, oregano, lemon, turmeric, and love. So I can't wait to like make a few recipes with her product here. So she's got small jars, big jars, and some samples, but I already opened this one up, so I can't wait. It smells incredible. It's so herbaceous, almost has like an Italian kind of pizza kind of smell to it a little bit. And so one is, it's fall, and if you've never had a delicata squash, these are just so cool. And it's because they look really cool as well. So we're gonna whack the delicata because I wanna get this going right away. And I could cut it in half, but I'm gonna actually do it in little rounds, circles like this, because they'll roast together. You just gotta be careful because this is a butcher knife and it's real carefully. So you gotta go down a little bit. And then I've got some baby red potatoes here. So really quickly, get a little water on there, drain the water off, the last one. And then I'm gonna take a hot pan. Okay. This is extra virgin olive oil. Then we're gonna take her seasoning. And if you go in on that, you can actually see that it's sizzling. So that seasoning is already sizzling, and what's happening is the aromatic seasoning from the spices that are in here are already developing in flavor and coating that pan, which is great. And then what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna throw my delicata squash in, just like this. Even that butt, you can already smell it. And then I've got my baby red potatoes. I'm gonna throw those in, because I'm gonna use my spatula, because I want all those seasonings to be coated in the delicata and the red potatoes. So I'm just tossing them around to get them coated, okay? And then from there, I'm going right into the oven. And I have it at 425. It's still warming up. I'm gonna put it on the top oven, and it's on convection heat right now. You always wanna start with what takes the longest. Really, that's what you do. And I wanna get my pans rocking and rolling. Now, I'm so excited about these pans. If you don't have any of these, this is called a green pan, and it has, it doesn't have Teflon anymore. Like, you shouldn't be buying that anymore. Anything that you can scratch the pan and you can see your mark, you should not have this. This is a green pan, and what's awesome about it is you shouldn't use metal on it, you should use plastic, but I'm telling you, like, nothing sticks to it. So like making eggs in the morning, it's incredible. So I'm gonna add a little olive oil in the pan, and I'm actually gonna do 2. Okay, so I got 2 pans here going, and they're already warm. So we're gonna crank up the heat. So a few ingredients that we got that I'm really excited about. These thighs are already marinated, which I think is a really cool thing that HEB does, and they're boneless. So look at these beauties, right? They're really marinated. They smell incredible. So what I'm gonna do is actually add these directly into my pan. I'm gonna open them up. There's 4 of them. I want that nice sear. And the next thing we need to do is tri-tips. It's an underrated meat, but it actually has incredible flavor. They're not as tender as filet or New York steak or even ribeyes, but they have the most flavor. And let's do this with the tri-tip. Let's get some of Dr. Lauren's everything seasoning on this tri-tip. I love that. And I want to try a little combination here with Dr. Lauren's seasoning. I love smoked paprika. So I think it's going to add a little smoky heat that's going to pair really nicely with Dr. Lauren's seasoning. And so we're going to add some smoked paprika here to it. Okay. And then I'm going to drop some of the seasoning down and coat the back of the product right here. And then I'm gonna go right onto the next one and just kind of coat it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for every piece of the meat to be seasoned. I just wanna get some of that flavor on as much of the sides as I can, and that's fine. And now I'm gonna go right into the pan. I want that high heat going. And now let's check out this chicken. Oh yeah. So you can smell, it smells so good. So here's the chicken. It's already seasoned. I'm gonna flip it. It's got some nice caramelization on the chicken. See that? That's wonderful. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some chicken there, and I'm gonna put some green beans here. I'm gonna put a piece of chicken on top. So I'm just gonna actually pop it into the oven right now, and we'll put it right here on the bottom. And that's going, so this thing's still warming up. It's only at 330 degrees. We got our tri-tip going here, but we have some other unique ingredients. So we're gonna do something a little bit different and unique. We're gonna roast these pears. So what you do is you cut it in half and then cut it into a quarter. Then you're just gonna cut out the stem or the core of the pear. So we're gonna do this with all these 3 because these ones are not ripe. Now I'm flipping it. Look at that nice caramelization. So because we got that smoked paprika on there, it really caramelized so nicely, especially with Dr. Lauren's seasoning. I think it's just a wonderful combination. Then now we're gonna nestle in our pears right into this pan, right? And I love the fact that they're gonna take on the juices of the steak. A few other ingredients that we got that I think are gonna add a little element to it is we got these Fresno chilies. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I'm just gonna roast them whole with it. So I'll put that in the pan because remember, timing is of essence. So I think what we can do here is make a quick little salad with the fresh pears, and raspberries are in season. They're sort of coming out of the end of the season. So I think what we'll do is make a little salad with fresh arugula on the plate, just like this. When you are shopping, you should always buy things that are on sale. Like if you see the sale prices, that means that they're on sale because they're in season and they're fresh and they're delicious and they're gonna be less expensive, and they're also gonna have more nutrients, and they're going to taste better. So, you know, just following the whole food is medicine concept, like let's put foods that are really healthy and delicious, and raspberries are full of antioxidants. They're so good for you. We also bought what's known as the champagne mango, which is incredible. It's a little tiny mango, and these were on sale. So these were just $1 a piece. So if I peel it like this, it's probably the best way to not take away too much of the mango. So using a peeler on these champagne mangoes is really the right approach. Then use a knife, cut the top and the bottom off. And so what I want to do is I want to feel the pit and I want to go around it, just like that. It reminds me, I think we just recently did a big mango cooking class, so it's very similar. These are absolutely delicious. And so then this ripe pear, we're gonna go ahead and cut it. And then I think our steaks are probably ready to go into the oven. So let's check that out real quick. Look at that color on that. Okay, we're getting some good color on that. I feel good about that. Let's see, our pears are starting to brown too. I'm gonna actually leave them like that so they get some of the juices from the steak that go into it. And then that Fresno chili will be there. They're still like rare, so we're gonna pop this in the oven. And we're gonna put this also on the bottom. And we're rocking and rolling there on that. So we're just gonna slice it like this and go right onto it. As far as crunchy goes, you definitely want something crunchy on your salad. So we're gonna add some fresh almonds, just like that. Now, I always buy something unique at the store, right? So we bought hibiscus marmalade, which is cool, right? And so hibiscus is actually a flower, and a lot of people will make tea, they'll infuse different things with it. We're gonna take our hibiscus out of here. Let's use some of our oil and vinegar product. So we've got, I'm rocking here the champagne vinegar, which is actually from Germany. And then we're rocking our Tuscan herb from Italy. So we've got those vinegars and oils. And so what you want to do to start is you want to start with the vinegar first. Now these are just naturally sweetened because it's a reduction of champagne vinegar. So we're going to add that right to here. And then we're going to stir that around and break that up. Okay, then to make a classic vinaigrette, there's a couple things you need. You need a little salt. So a little salt, a little bit of fresh pepper, Coleman's mustard. If you've never had that, it is so good. It has a nice spiciness to it. So we're gonna add a little of that. Now we do the slow drizzle of the Tuscan herb olive oil. Ooh, it smells so good. The Tuscan herbs are savory, rosemary, thyme, and sage. And then we're gonna drizzle this in. And now we're gonna drizzle this beautiful hibiscus vinegar dressing right over top of this fresh pear and raspberry salad that is just gonna be incredible here. So we're getting some roast on the seasoning, the delicate's cooking, but it's not, I can tell that these are not cooked all the way through yet, but I really wanna incorporate it into that seasoning. It just smells incredible. The potato's starting to cook, so I would say it just needs probably another 10 minutes, but that's great because we're gonna rest our steak and stuff. And then the chicken still needs some more time because it's got the green beans. So now we can get dessert ready. Here's some wheat ones. These are incredible. What we'll do at the very last second, we'll throw some of those in the oven to warm them up. And these are gonna be a great, especially knowing that they're whole wheat, which is a healthier version of a tortilla, and they have less butter. So getting your whole grain in a version like this from a homemade whole wheat tortilla, which most people don't normally serve, is a great way to, I think, be a little more health conscious and put a little more protein in what you're doing too. So we've got that. Now let's rock out our parfait. So we're gonna put some of the yogurt in because we're building a nice parfait. This is a grain-free granola. It's got almonds, honey, sunflower seeds, coconut, cinnamon, a little bit of salt, vanilla, coconut oil. Amazing product, honestly. And I love the fact that it's like gluten-free as well. So we're gonna put that right over the top. You know, it has like a combination of citrus notes to it as well. So it's like sweet orange, This amazing combination of sweet orange and mango together. Now, what can you do a little bit different than just putting like jumbo blueberries? Well, I think what you could do is we could cut these in half. They're that big. What's really cool about blueberries is they say antioxidants make you younger. Got raspberries too. I know it's on the salad there. I'm just gonna put a couple because I really want a little pop of color, because you do have to have a pop of color with things. So we're gonna take our steak out. Yep, we wanna take that out. And I wanna turn it off. And anytime you cook steak, you wanna immediately get it to start resting. Then I made it this really nice juices at the bottom because of the pears. You can see that, look at that. Look at this. Look at those nice, beautiful pears. So I'm gonna turn that around. We got those roasted chilies. Okay, we're gonna cover this and let that steam. Then with the steak, look at those beauties. So important part, cover it, let it rest. Okay, so we're gonna let that rest for 10 minutes. So our chicken, I can tell, is done. And our green beans are nicely, perfectly cooked. So I got this beautiful little mint top here. And what I wanna do, rather than the garnish, I actually want, I want the flavor of that in there. And so I'm gonna take the leaves and I'm gonna make a little chiffonade. So I'm gonna pull the leaves off. There's not much, but you know what? Mint is so powerful. It doesn't take much. Like I almost felt bad, just like I didn't, like the garden is kind of starting to deteriorate because it's fall and just naturally part of what happens, right? Is the cycle of life in a garden. So I'm gonna roll those up. And now I'm gonna slice them real thin, just like that. And I'm gonna sprinkle those over the top of the mangoes, just like that. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna squeeze that clementine right over the top of everything. So that juicy deliciousness. So there's our dessert, like, whew, right? So what we'll do is we'll cut these in half. Okay, we got the seeds out. Okay, then right over the top. Okay, just like that. Now you can even slice a chicken thigh against the grain. The grain actually runs like this. You can almost see that the muscle grain runs like that. So I don't want to cut it like this. I want to cut it against the grain. So I'm going like this. And what that does is it'll make it more tender. So now I'm cutting it against the grain. So then I'm gonna build my chicken thigh just like this. I want that nice crispy skin on the top. Or not skin, but the flesh, the meat muscle. Now I'm gonna take this, I wanna add some nice color. Here's this nice roasted Fresno chili. So we're gonna build that right on top, a little bit on the green beans, a little bit right there. Put one on that side. And then all these juices that are in here, that I want. So I'm gonna move my pan over here. Look at all these nice juices. Pour that over the top of that chicken. That's your finishing sauce right there. See, like a family style plate up with this. So here's what I'm thinking. We'll take this parsley and we'll just lay that around. I just love the look of this so much. And then, so I wanna slice against the grain. So see, even though there's pink in there, most chefs would call that well done. But because the meat has been sitting here, it is, it's tenderized it. And so now this has Dr. Lauren's seasoning. Wow. Okay, then we got that. So then let's plate this up. So what we'll do, all these beautiful potatoes right over here. Then let's take the leftover remaining delicata squash. Let's put that on there too. Seeds and all. Then let's take some more of our green beans and we'll set that right over here, okay? And then let's take our steak and go right over the top of the potatoes here. We'll sprinkle these roasted pears here. And then what I'm gonna do is I take these juices, put it back on the stove. This is the secret that I was talking about. Then add some Worcestershire sauce to it. Okay, just a little bit. Believe it or not, just a squirt of ketchup, because that'll thicken it. And then if I had soy sauce, which I don't, sometimes I'll do just a splash of that, but then you need butter. And I love Amish butter. So we're gonna add a little bit of Amish butter. A little bit of butter in the pan, pan's on. And then, we gotta take out our tortillas because they're warm and they're delicious right now. Remember I turned off the oven? Oh yeah, look at this. One of them poofed up, which is great because I want this like family style that you can basically eat this delicious bread with it. I'm gonna take these chilies. This is like perfectly roasted. I'm gonna go right over here with the roasted chilies because I want that red, green, yellow. You know, for those of you that watch my food artistry program, that's really important, getting all those colors. Then what you do is you got that butter in there, right? We have the ketchup in there. We swirl that around. It's got all the sauce from the pears that added the sweetness. It's got the juices from the steak, and you swirl. And what happens is it emulsifies and makes this most gorgeous, beautiful sauce. Now watch this. Look at this, and I'm gonna just try it. Oh, I'm gonna try a little piece of steak in it. Then I'm gonna velvetly pour that over the steak. And that's gonna help tenderize it, glaze it. It fixes a multitude of problems or covers a multitude of sins, even though I overcooked the steak a little bit. And then voila. It's 4:52. We still have 8 minutes. We rock and roll. Thank you, Dr. Lauren Powell, for your seasoning. We love it. It's all here in the Divine Wellness series, and we hope you enjoy, and the recipes will be on the bio and the link.